Lorraine here, back again to do a Scrapin' Up demo for you. I love this idea because I collect scraps, things left over from different projects that I have, and I bag them and I color coordinate them, and so all I have to do is pull out a bag, like some of the papers you see here that I'm going to work with today, and it makes it a little easier for me to do a project when I have it. Here's another bag that I pulled out a few things. Here's another one. Beautiful papers, all color coordinated and ready to go. Now, as far as your scraps, if you don't have a lot of scraps and you like to collect them, just start collecting them. You can go through a magazine and cut out little snippets of colors that you like, coordinate those. You can use junk mail, you can use pretty napkins, you can tear them up and color coordinate them in your bags. You can use pieces of fabric even. I have some fabric here, very pretty fabric that I used, that I put into my green bag. Now, I have a piece of mat board here. This is going to end up being a frameable piece of artwork, which is great. We can put it on a wall. I'm going to show you, mat it at the end and show you how beautiful it turned out. And just to start, I like to look for some of the bigger pieces to start. Not that you have to do that, but let's see what happens. And let's not be afraid. Okay? We do that because we know that we can correct anything we don't like. We have one piece down, and let's look at some of the other items that I might have. I think I'll put that one on. It's pretty red, but this is beautiful too. Isn't that pretty? And I got my scissor at hand here. I could actually cut this up and use it towards the top layer possibly. At least that's the way I'm thinking at the moment. And I have plenty to choose from here. And again, I always remind you to put your adhesive on both sides of what you're adhering, your papers that you're adhering. Now, I don't want to put this line too much to the center. Might be a problem later. Okay, and just place it down. Okay, so I have a few pieces of paper here. What do I want to do? Let me think about it a little bit. Picking out some papers that are of interest to me. And play a tiny little bit. Maybe something like that. And again, I can cover this paper up if I don't like it. And you see this is here, a cut. So what? So what? I think I'll leave that just like that. All right. Now putting this here, and my thought for the moment is that it's sort of a balanced, putting the same type of paper on either side, but it's not a must. You just keep playing until it strikes your fancy. And I like letting it drop a little bit, and I couldn't tell you why. It's amazing what beautiful collages you can do with scraps without paint, because the papers are already printed. Now, I could outline it eventually or touch it up with a little gold, rub something into it. So here's some small pieces. I might use that later. And I don't like that. I kind of like that. I think it brings a little more white into the piece, but I do feel like I want to cut this off. I'm not too much for torn edges. I will do that on occasion, but you could do all torn edges if you like. It's really up to you. And I think I'm going to make that a little shorter. Yeah, I'm going to make that a little shorter. Okay. Keep a magazine on the side to use to do my gluing. And again, there's no right and wrong way of doing collage. And that's the wonder of it all. I'll lay a few more pieces down. To black. I don't know if I like that. A thought to share with you is that, see, if I put this here, you might like the way this pattern ran into that. I don't particularly care for it, but that doesn't matter, because if I put it down later and I decide I don't like it, I can always change it. Let's do that. I kind of like these pieces, and I'm saying, well, I think if it's very straight lines, so I'm thinking maybe I would like to do something a little bit of a different, changing it up a little bit. This is just a weaving that I did a very long time ago. Maybe I can find use for it today. I'm not really sure. And so you can cut your papers, and you know that. I could have made a completely different shape out of it. In fact, these little pieces sometimes work out really nice, so I won't say no to those either at the moment. And I'm liking the way this is evolving. But see, if I put the red here, you wouldn't see it. But okay, you could still put it there and follow it through. It's up to you. It's how you feel when you look at it. All right, so I think I saw another piece of this around, or maybe I didn't. I have this, which is interesting. I'm thinking, repeat. I'm thinking repeat. Maybe here. I'm thinking repeat, and I think I like that. So I'm going to put that in there. Oops. kind of like that. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to not ponder it too much more. And put it down. Put it on a slant, being conscious not to put it too much in the middle. And overlapping as I go along. All right. Now this, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut my camera off for a minute, and I'm going to get a mat to come back to hold it up against what I already have, because it might help me make one or two more decisions on where I want to take this. So I will be back. Okay, so I did get a hold of my mat. It did help me out a little bit, and that's a good idea sometimes to use a mat. It helps you to decide on maybe where you want to go from where you were. And I did cut a couple of small pieces because I thought I would add a few different things. I wanted to bring a little more red up into here, and then the piece that I cut this from was from here, and I cut another piece, and I wanted to put that down here, and that's what I'll do. And then I thought this was too solid in here, so I decided to add a little bit more of this paper in this area. So repetition. And then kind of like these. Do I want the smaller piece here? I think I actually prefer the bigger piece here and the smaller piece in this area here. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. I add that. And I'm going to add this on this side. The adhesive will disappear as it dries. And then I have these small pieces. I'm not sure exactly where I want them. I'm going to put the bigger piece here. All right, so I think that's basically where I want to leave this. Okay, now what I decided to do was to put this collage aside for a day or two and revisit it every so often to see if I thought it needed any additional papers. And I did decide on adding 2 additional papers to the work. One is this piece down at the bottom that represents the background of these 2 woven pieces, and the other was this red grid work that represents these 2 pieces in the collage. And I did that because I felt that it added balance to the piece, and I'm very happy with the outcome. Now, what I'd like to talk to you about is what you might do with your collages. They are standard sizes so that if you decide you want to frame them, you can get inexpensive frames and have a beautiful piece of artwork when you're done. Now, you can do it in a small mat. It's an 8x10, gives you a 5x7 opening, and of course your collage is smaller, fills up the whole inside of the mat. but yet it's beautiful. It's just preference. Or you might want to use a larger mat, which is 11 by 14. And I particularly like this. I like the open white space around it. And I hope that you enjoyed watching me do the demo. I hope you got enthusiastic. I hope that maybe you'll try by gathering your own scraps to make something that you will enjoy, not only doing it, but to see the finished results. And I look forward to seeing you again and doing more collages with you, different types of collages, but always collages using paper, paint, and some other elements as well. So I'll say goodbye for now. Hope to see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.